Hey guys, it's Heidi with your relationship, dating, and all-around general male advice for women. Today we're going to talk about a way that you can let men know that you're interested, that you're approachable, and that you want them to talk to you. So most of you know I spent about 2.5 years interviewing men of all ages, all walks of life, married, single, divorced, widowed, kids, no kids, and I asked them how they felt about women, sex, love, relationships, anything that had to do with intimacy. So one of the things that came from that research was ways that women can let men know that they're interested. Because a lot of times it's hard for us to gauge, you know, how do we know, how do we let a guy know that we're interested, you know, and without confusing or mixing signals. So one of the things that a lot of the guys said, and we're going to talk about this today, and I'm going to give you a tip and a little exercise to do to help with this. But one of the things that you can do is to make eye contact with them for longer than you think you should. So it's going to be a little weird at first, but we'll talk about that. So by making that, just holding the gaze a little bit longer is one way that you can, you know, let someone know, as if you're passing them on the street or you see them in a coffee shop or at the gym, that you can let them know that you're interested and that you're approachable, that it's okay for them to come up. Because one of the biggest things for men is they fear rejection. Not a big surprise, but they really fear rejection more than we realize. And so they're terrified to approach women. Most men are. And so if we can make it, as a woman, if you can make it a little bit easier for them, then your chances of someone approaching you are much greater. So, okay, so one of the ways we can do this is, and I would suggest practicing. I would recommend once a day, try to practice for the next week or two. And what you want to do is, if you're passing someone on the street, let's just say that, so that you're kind of moving beyond and you don't have to see them again, you know, in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So what you can do is, as you're passing them, you want to hold the gaze. Typically what happens, you want to hold it for a couple seconds, because typically what will happen is that someone looks at us, we look back at them, and we make eye contact, and we quickly dart our eyes away. It's very instinctual. We just automatically look away. Even if we think they're attractive, we still look away. So one of the things I have people do is to say a word or two. It's typically about 3 words in their mind while they're, you know, looking at the person. So this is why I suggest practicing. So what you can do, set out consciously, you're going to walk past someone, pick someone that you find attractive though, because you don't want to send the wrong message to someone that you're not interested in, and you're sending them a pretty strong message like, hey, it's okay, come talk to me, come approach me. So pick someone that you wouldn't mind if they approached you, and as you walk by, you want to consciously look at them. They're probably going to look back at you, and hold the contact for at least 5 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds. But the best way to do it is to say something, anything. You could say, happy birthday. You could say, my name is Heidi, you know, whatever your name is. And you're going to say this to yourself, and what that does is it takes that pressure off of, oh my gosh, I have to hold the gaze, I don't know how long, should I stare at them, am I staring too long? It takes all that away, and you focus on just the words you're saying in your mind. It can be a little scary, quite scary for a lot of people. Now, some people this is very simple, but for most of us it's pretty intimidating, because we typically will look away. I was working with a client the other day, and we were in a restaurant, and it had a bar, so we went up to the bar, and she wanted to practice, and she was so nervous. And so I had her practice with a glass. They said, look at the glass, hold the gaze, pretend it's a person, and hold the gaze for, you know, say the phrase that you're going to say in your mind, and then hold your eye contact with the glass. And so she was practicing, and she was so nervous. And for her, she's a mathematician, so for her it worked better to say numbers. So she would count 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how long she was going to hold the gaze. So whatever works for you. Personally, it's 2018, and I think we should be a lot nicer to ourselves. So why not say something nice about yourself while you're practicing this exercise? You get an affirmation in that makes you feel good, and you're practicing making eye contact with a guy. So maybe you could say, you know, as you make eye contact and you walk by, you look at the person, they look back, and in your mind you say, I'm joyful, I'm happy, I'm lovable, I'm beautiful, whatever it is. It could be anything. Anything to be nicer to yourself, because again, it's 2018, it's time to be a lot nicer. you would, your best friend, you would tell them in a second, you're beautiful, you're joyful, you're happy, you're wonderful, you're kind. So say that to yourself too. It's time to be a lot nicer to ourselves. So why not get in that positive message for yourself while you're practicing holding the gaze with a guy, as you're walking by. And try it. Practice it at least once a day. But again, you want to consciously set out to do it and have the phrase in your mind that you're going to use. And again, you can use numbers, whatever works for you. It doesn't matter. If it's just your name, or you even want to say hi there in your mind, whatever it is, just repeat it in your mind and know what you're going to say. It'll make it a lot easier. It takes the pressure off of you. It takes the pressure off of them, because they then realize, oh wow, she's approachable. Look at, and then the other thing you can do too is, and this takes it up a little bit of a notch, but is to smile then, because if you look at someone, they look back at you, you hold the gaze for a few seconds, and then they smile, you're probably going to find yourself instinctively looking away. So again, you can, as you get better at practicing saying what you're going to say, you can then practice holding the gaze, repeating whatever it is in your mind to keep you more comfortable, and then smiling as well. And that'll really take it up a few notches. So give it a shot. I'd love to hear in the comments. Let me know how it goes. Try it, practice it. I would highly suggest doing it in a passing situation, or like a coffee shop where you can move on. I had someone try this in the gym once, and it was very uncomfortable for her, because she then, had to keep seeing the guy over and over again for the next 30-40 minutes. So try it in a situation where you're just passing. And let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear how it goes. And again, Happy New Year. It's 2018. Time to be a lot nicer to yourself and take a little bit of risks and put yourself out there. That's it for today. I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.